in Londonderry, which is something that can only be achieved by Brexit, by the way. But I'm more than happy to study the plans that he proposes, and we'll see what we can do to take it forward.
Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown.
Mr. Speaker, the coronavirus has hit young people in work and those about to enter the jobs market particularly hard. Would my right honourable friend therefore continue to build on his excellent package of announcements so far, so that our young people have hope and encouragement for the very best prospects to the start of their working life?
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker. I thank my right honourable friend. We want young people to have the self-confidence and the experience of work to keep learning on the job and to get the jobs that they need. And if you'll wait just a few minutes, he'll be hearing rather more from my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, about that very matter.
Let us return to Scotland and drop in on Angela Crawley. Angela Crawley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hundreds of my constituents have been excluded from the furlough scheme or support for self-employed due to gaps in the legislation. Barriers to this support include real-time information cut-off dates and the 50% cap on non-trading income. The government's solution to these constituents is to take out loans, which for many is untenable and will lead to unemployment and bankruptcy. Will the Prime Minister commit to widening access to these schemes for the many people left behind?
Mr. Speaker, I would just tell the Honourable Lady that there are in fact 12,000 people who've taken advantage of the furlough scheme in her constituency, getting 80% of their income, up to £2,500 a month. It's a massive scheme. And in addition, for those that she rightly identifies who may have had difficulties accessing furlough, we've also massively increased universal credit, up by £1,040 for families across the country, in addition to a panoply of other loans and grants that we have made.
Nick Fletcher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure the Prime Minister will join me in thanking Richard Parker, the CEO of Doncaster and Bassetlaw Trust Hospital, and his staff for all their hard work during the COVID pandemic. Yet does the Prime Minister agree with me that Doncaster needs a new hospital? And does he also believe that by building a new hospital in the town, the government will send a clear message to the people of Don Valley that it is committed to levelling up the north?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I thank my honourable friend for a very apposite question, because the Health Secretary is indeed committed not just to building 40 new hospitals, but to visiting Doncaster very shortly to discuss investment in healthcare in Doncaster.
Sorry, Reg Lockins.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Luton Airport provides direct funding to Luton Council and to many local charities in my constituency, but COVID-19 has hugely impacted this commercial and charitable income. Without urgent government action, Luton Council will be forced into making £22 million of in-year cuts next week. I've raised this issue repeatedly in Parliament on behalf of thousands of Lutonians. Will the Prime Minister meet with me to discuss how emergency funding for Luton Council will save crucial local services and hundreds of key workers' jobs?
Well, Mr. Speaker, she raises a very important issue, because the aviation industry has been very hard hit, and that's why we're supporting the sector in all kinds of ways, not just by supporting employees, but also the time to pay scheme and loans from the Bank of England and indeed the government to aviation. The best way, and of course we're supporting local councils as well, with billions of pounds, 3.2 billions of pounds for local councils. But the most important thing is to get a medium and long-term solution that enables those airlines to start flying again, so that Luton Council can get the revenues that it needs. I perfectly understand and support the points she makes.
Simon Fell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's been